Hi guys, Ms. Francis here to continue our discussion regarding ecology. So now that we understand what population density is, we need to evaluate its impact on population growth. Why do all populations eventually stop growing? Why do they hit their carrying capacity? What environmental factors could potentially stop a population from growing? So in order to consider these questions, we must address density-dependent factors and density-independent factors. Density-dependent factors are factors that increase their effect on a population as population density increases, and it ends up being a type of negative feedback because it results in the population size actually decreasing. For example, if I have a large population, there's more potential for disease. If there's more potential for disease, that population size is going to decrease. If I have a larger population, I'm going to need more available food or territory, which leads to more competition, which eventually leads to a decrease in population. If I have people with better health and there are more people, again, more competition, which eventually results in a lower population. So density-dependent factors are factors that depend on population, meaning they increase their effect as the population size, or population density, I should say, increases, which is a type of negative feedback. On the other hand, density-independent factors are unrelated to population density, and then there's no feedback to slow population growth. For example, natural disasters like hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, they can strike regardless of population density. Those natural disasters don't care if there's a high population density or a low population density. Those density independent factors completely unrelated to population density. Some populations actually have what's called a boom and bust cycle. The classic example of this type of relationship is the predator-prey relationship, where a boom in the population is a rapid increase, whereas a bust in the population is a rapid decrease. And often predator-prey populations cycle between these booms and busts. Now, the human population has been growing almost exponentially for 3 centuries, but it can't do this indefinitely. So when is Earth going to reach its carrying capacity? Well, no one knows for sure because it's a very complex question. However, demographers can use something called age structure diagrams, also known as age structure pyramids, which help demographers predict trends in future populations. So let's take a look at 3 age structure diagrams. If we look here, well, first of all, let me tell you, age structure diagrams, what they are is they have the population of males on one side and females on the other side, and it's separated according to age, where each bar represents a different age group: 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, so on and so forth. So if we take a look here at Kenya, Kenya is a third world country experiencing rapid growth. In this age structure diagram, you can see that many of the population are of a young age, whereas not that many people within the population are of an older age. This is typical of a third world country or a country experiencing rapid growth. Whereas if you look at the United States, their young population is much less, and their older population is much more. And you can even see this bulge in the middle, which occurred during 1950-ish to 1964 was the year that those people were actually born. That represents the baby boom in the United States as the men were returning from war. The last age structure diagram I want to show you is one that shows the trend of a population that's not growing at all, it's stable, or even decreasing, which can be seen in Italy, Japan, Russia, where the population of the young and the population of those that are of reproductive age are significantly less, or just less than people of the middle age group. And this can indicate either a stable population with zero growth or an actual decrease in population growth. So these are some things that we can learn from the graphs. Kenya's population means that the individuals that can reproduce in the future are what most of that population contains. US population shows a bulge representing the baby boomers. As far as when the Earth's carrying capacity is going to be reached, the predictions vary greatly from 2050 all the way to the end of this century, and they range from 7.3 to 10.7, then it ranged all the way up to 12. I've even heard 14 billion. So because of its complex nature, we don't know what future inventions might come our way that could help the Earth push off its carrying capacity. But these estimates are usually based on food, because human agriculture limits assumptions on available amounts. However, the correct answer, nobody really knows. We'll just have to wait and find out.